Okay.
Have her.
Since it's just going to be us, I'm actually going to turn this around.
Yeah, that's not distracting.
Oh, is it? Do you find it
I don't-
distracting?
No, I'm kidding.
Okay. I didn't know if you were being serious or not, but then since I'm joining in late. Okay, recording, and that's recording. Let's go. So, do you want to start with?
You start. You start.
Okay.
This is your show, not mine.
This one, I believe, Mom had said is Jerry's.
Mm-hmm. That's Benno.
Yeah.
Oh, I should have my glasses.
Do you want to get your glasses? I can get them. Where are they?
Sure, at the nightstand over there.
The nightstand?
Well, the stand beside where I sit.
Okay. Be right back. You're the little blonde one.
Mm-hmm. Look like Malin.
Yeah. Well, look, you guys all have stripes.
Yeah, my mom liked to dress us all the same.
Oh, yeah?
You notice the common denominator about these pictures?
No.
Not one of them has my dad in it.
Oh, that's very true.
Up until grade 4, it was a happy family. We had Christmases, played together. It was great. But when I was about 4 years old, my dad had a stroke, and a pretty bad stroke. And I guess part of his recovery was alcohol. So we kind of became somewhat of a hardcore alcoholic. And that's when the family got torn apart. See, when the house fire started, this is where it came out, right out here.
Out of those windows?
Yep, and right there, I smashed that, and I was in a room on the second floor on the opposite side of the house over here.
Okay.
And all I could hear is all this commotion, and I thought, oh God, here we go again. I got to work tomorrow. I can't remember what time it was. It was probably like 5, 6 in the morning. It was just getting light out. And I remember all the commotion. And I'm like, oh, for Christ's sake. So I fling my door open. All I get hit with smoke. I come running out, and I come into the living room, that's the living room window, and I can see the flames as red as can be. It's like a film running in my head. And I remember my mom was running around frantically. My mom tried to go down the stairs because she knew Jerry and Christine were down there. It was Christine that actually came running up, yelling and screaming, fire, fire, fire. And then she went back downstairs to try and get Jerry. Mm-hmm. And my mom, she's tried going downstairs. I came outside here, and I smashed this window in trying to get to Jerry. Kept telling him, come to the window, and I can hear him moaning and groaning. But that's about it. And the smoke was so black, it's like burn your throat.
Wow.
It's pretty intense. And my dad just stood right there, crying, saying, my house, my house, my house.
Nothing about his son?
And I remember saying, fuck you and your house, your son's in there. Wow. Or I said, Jerry's in there.
Wow.
It was a tough day. Tough day.
This year, I wanted to make a movie about my dad and how he created a successful business despite his difficult childhood. As I tried to learn more about how he grew up, I realized I was getting the same rehearsed answers I'd gotten all my life. I wanted to learn more about his life, the fire, my Uncle Jerry, so I decided to take him to his childhood house to see if I could find out more.
Yeah, I think I only ever went to the house once when I was 7, and I think your dad was moving out into the condo downtown.
Yeah. And there it is. A lot less trees. These ones are a lot bigger, obviously.
Yeah. In the picture, you can definitely tell that there was more forest.
Mm-hmm.
Like it looks like the house is just in the forest.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, there were so many trees along there, you couldn't even see them. This is the old homestead. Okay, so this was our living room area. It's changed quite a bit since I've been here. It's been probably over 20 years, oh boy, yeah, probably 20 years since I've been here last. My dad had a good way of making you feel like an inconvenience. So, you know, there's a lack of food, lack of, you know, everything. So basically, you know, it was a fend for yourself family. Everybody who did live here would have locks on the door. So everybody would be locked out of everybody's room because they didn't want everybody eating everybody else's food. I remember one time over a can of, or a jar of applesauce, my oldest brother actually smashed my other brother Benno in the face so hard he broke his nose over eating the last of the applesauce. That's how, you know, if there was food in the house, we were all like, okay, it's eating time. It's like dogs. The food's in the bowl and the dogs are fighting over the food. But there would be holes in these doors. Holes in that door, holes in the wall. Before the fire, it was pretty aggressive in here. This is the room I was in when I was 18 years old and our house caught fire. And it was about 5 in the morning, and our house was always very chaotic. There was lots of partying going on. At that point, you know, I was 18, so I was a teenager, so I was the youngest. So my oldest brother at that time would have been probably 22, 23 years old. 23, because Benno's 2 years older, 2 years, 2 months, so he's 50 now. Yeah. So, and there was a big party going on again, like usual. And I can remember it was like early in the morning, I had to work the next day, all this commotion going on, and I'm like, okay, what the hell's going on again? I remember opening this door and just, I believe it was my mom that woke me up, just screaming blue murder. And I remember opening this door and just seeing the black smoke. And I remember running out here, down the hallway. And when I came to this point here, from this window, it was a different window at the time, but it was the same concept, bay window. From this window, I could see orange flames shooting at the side. And you could just hear the crackling of the fire. And I remember looking at that window too, and it was this corner that was, the fire happened in the basement. And yeah, so it's a pretty trying day. And it was unfortunate that my brother was trapped in the basement and with his girlfriend, and they both died in the fire. And needless to say, it was a very tough day. So.
When we went to his childhood home, and he got emotional telling me about the fire, I had a hard time not getting emotional myself, because I had just never seen that before, and seen him so hurt before. I was curious if he'd be more revealing about the emotional impact his childhood had on him in our interview, or if he would remain stoic.
What did you picture yourself being, and how did you see your future?
Oh, geez, that's the scariest one of all. It was very scary, you know, because you know, you're living a life that you really aren't comfortable living in with all the chaos and disasters, and you just wanted more out of it, and you just couldn't figure out how to get it because you had nobody really guiding you.
Do you want to talk a little bit about the night of the fire and how things?
The night of the fire, that's one that's definitely burned in my brain. We're gonna have to pass that one.
Okay.
No, carry on.
It's been almost 30 years since that day, and he's built up this wall and created the story behind the day. So why is it that he was feeling it all over again? It was like it was his first time talking about it. I never realized how much hurt my dad had before, and how the hurt his father inflicted on him affected me as it affected how my dad raised me. I always have viewed him as a strong businessman who I can rely on, and who would do anything for me. To me, he surpassed the father role.
This is our baby's room. The baby's not born yet. The baby's right in there. Tammy wants to show it. Right in there.
Makes sure nothing else is showing.
4.5, 5 more weeks and we'll have a little one.
I think my upbringing did help how I raised you. You know, a lot of people are monkey see, monkey do, or I was more like monkey see, monkey do not. It kind of taught me how not to raise my kids, right? Make sure there was a connection. Make sure that they knew that there was lots of love. I look at it like, you know, when I was in grade 4 with my dad and his stroke, alcohol, my brother dying at 18, everything seemed real grim. But, you know, the one thing when, you know, I always look at when you get knocked down, God, you just got to keep going, because now I have a great life. Wouldn't change it for the world.
Oh, look at the proud father.
Did you get the picture of the baby?
Yeah, he's good.
I don't do that. She'll go to the
Flip the
room.
lens
Yeah,
and
you'll
hold
see
it
it.
up.
She's gonna go to the room with you.
So they'll be in the room, or
Yeah.
will I do it?
No, they'll do probably in the room.
Announce the name,
Or
Martin.
you'll go to the nursery while they do it.
I already did.
When
What's
she's
your name?
4
Averie
hours.
Grace Severs.
Looking back at the outcome of this process, I noticed that my dad's rehearsed story of his past trauma began to unravel into something he had never let me see before. My dad was never guarded by his own father, and because of this, he became my biggest protector. He was forced to mature quickly, and he was driven to create a better future. He never gave himself the time or permission to acknowledge the hurt he felt. I always thought he successfully overcame these obstacles in order to create a better future for his family, but now I wonder if that's even true. I never recognized that his past still weighed on him and that he had a vulnerable side.
Martin and Averie. Hi.